What's up? What's up? What's up? Welcome back to the Black Barbershop. It's your boy Gotti, and I'm in here with my nigga Ace. What's the deal, my nigga Ace?
It's the best barber in all the land, and thank y'all for tuning in to another week of the Black Barbershop.
And we up in this bitch. As y'all know, we had the original. We had the original back up in here. Y'all heard that beat?
That's why I was noticing, like he got that old thing back.
Yeah, I brought that back up in here. You feel me? But yeah, man. Today we're gonna have some great conversation, as we always talk about. We do this shit. But today we're gonna talk about women's trauma. We're gonna identify some things that we think that women don't want to admit, and it kind of make niggas kind of feel like they're the complicated ones. But I don't think that's true. I don't think that's true. What about you?
Well, me? Yeah. Oh yeah, this is 100% facts.
Yeah, because I think that we've been going through this mindset thing that like niggas is really just dogs and they trash. Like I'm always hearing that niggas is trash. So I'm trying to get to the root of that. Why are men trash?
No, I don't think none of the women that we be having on this show believe that.
You'd be surprised how many people out there believe it though. On the show, I think
right.
that I honestly think we do get some cool people that's actually adult about the conversation. But there are a lot of young women out there who believe that all men are trash because of the, I guess you could say the stigma that we have out there, just as men on movies and things like that.
Right.
But what I do want to talk about today is who needs a lineup. We got some great conversation around that.
We know to introduce our guest.
No, I'm gonna get there, but I want to talk about who needs. I wanted to go in here real quick because I'm going to introduce our guest right now. Who needs a lineup is going to be very interesting because I got some things that I don't think it's really a lineup. It's just a conversation to have because I don't think we could line it up. That's what I was going to say. That's what's going to be different about who needs a lineup. So we got some guests today. We got a king and we got a queen. We got somebody out here that's doing the entrepreneurship shit. We got somebody here doing the music shit and some entrepreneurship shit. Ladies first, queens first. We're going to let you introduce yourself. Everybody knows who's been on this show and listened to us from day one who this is, but reintroduce yourself.
You got your girl Dynasty in the building, hanging out with Gotti and Ace, and we about to have a good time.
Yes, sir.
And let them know who you is and what you do. We got to have you just shout yourself out. You're not no regular guest.
No, I'm a Dorsey Don. That's why I feel like, that's why I met Gotti. I'm a social worker. I work with kids, high school students, and so I'm also a president of a nonprofit organization. We provide free educational and career services for ages 5 to 18.
Right.
It's called Dynasty United Youth Association. You can check it out online. I'm also co-founder of an LLC called Mental Health in the Hood, where we're spreading awareness, getting rid of the stigma, and basically educating our community about trauma. So you can check me and my father out there at the Instagram at Mental Health in the Hood.
Shout out to Daddy-O.
Yes, shout out
to Daddy-O.
Hey, he cool as fuck.
Oh, man. And then we got my boy up in here, Saeed. He about to let us know what he do, who he be.
What it do? It's your boy Saeed, originally from the Bay Area, California. Right now, I work in the mental health field, in the mental health spectrum for the past 5 years. Just working in the inner city, working to get some of these families and a lot of our minorities the resources that they need, whether that be mental health resources or vocational resources. Also, owner of Live from Paradise LLC, which is an athleisure-based clothing brand here in California, and also co-owner of Soul Guys, which is the second African-American owned solar company in California as well. And also, man, that's pretty much it.
Look to my left real quick, like, who's this nigga they got in here, man? It sound like you got a lot of shit going on, man. I'm proud of that.
On me, Bay Area up in this bitch, too.
Yes, sir.
Mental health, hey. I love that I got both of y'all on here because I know that both of you are working in the field of, like, understanding human behavior. And, I've been in the field before. I work in education, so, that's pretty much where I further my knowledge as well. Also, just I'm in the field, you feel me? And I just think it's gonna be very interesting to hear what y'all have to say.
Nah, that's it. Hearing him and hearing her, it just made I'm like excited for this topic tonight because It's like I'm really hoping that going into this conversation we could kind of get it from both sides.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
What accountability?
Because I'm no expert, you know what I'm saying? The only thing I could go off is I'm close to an expert though, but honestly, the only thing I could go off is my experience.
Nah, right. For real, that's some real shit. So tonight we're gonna talk about some great topics. I think the first thing that we do need to talk about is the mask being lifted throughout the whole United States. You know, pretty much we gonna get ours in California lifted on June 15th, but damn, I don't know. It's just a bittersweet feeling because I don't know if this shit was real now. I'm just saying the statement that they put out was so. I mean, I know people catch COVID. I'm not saying COVID's not real, but the statement they put out was if you're vaccinated, you do not have to wear a mask. But who knows if you're vaccinated?
But they already came out and said that if you're vaccinated, you can still pass it to other people.
That's crazy. So I'm only asking y'all because I do want to know. How do y'all feel about this, just in general, that the mask is going to be lifted? And I know June 15th is for us. I just came from Nevada. They was walking out there mask off since day one. But how y'all feel about it being lifted June 15th and everything opening back up?
I'm ready.
You ready?
Yeah, it's time for people to get their old life back. Like, they didn't have this shit locked down and masked too long. Nigga can't go to, like, this has been it's been one of the worst experiences for me, like, because I'm used to, like, pulling up to restaurants and falling in, and it's like, nah, it's none of that no more. Like, It's a 30-hour wait. If you don't walk up with a mask on, they gonna deny you service, even though you get ready to just take it right off. As soon as you go through the back and they sit you down, you gonna take it right off. But if you don't walk up with one on, they gonna deny you service. It's just been like the most retarded shit to me, and I'm just ready for it to be over.
No, I feel that. What about y'all? How y'all feel about the whole mask situation?
Man, regardless if you vaccinated or not, man, give me my 6 feet. That's what I know. That's all I know for sure.
Taking no chances, huh?
Yeah, I ain't taking no chances. You know, I don't want to be a conspiracy theorist, you feel me? But I feel like a lot of this shit was just, you know, I don't know if it was real. I ain't gonna say COVID wasn't real, but I think the numbers was trumped up. You feel me? I think,
Facts.
you know, I think they put a lot more on the numbers and the cause of death. You know, I don't think it was always related to COVID. I think it was, you know, natural causes of death. You know, like everyday causes of death, such as, you know, heart attacks and, you know, things like that. For me, I'm gonna stay in the house for a minute. You know, still, you know, even when it's all lifted, I'm cool. Everybody can go to y'all concerts and hit y'all hit the mall and all that. I'm good. I'm gonna do my online shopping.
Right.
And you feel me?
You about to stay safe.
I really say just put it like this though. Like either COVID was, I'm not gonna say it was fake, but either it was a hoax or my family got some strong ass immune system because we've been putting on parties every month during COVID. I've never stopped traveling during COVID. I just got back from Mexico. I had to take a COVID test to get there and to get back. Both came back negative, and I'm like, the shit that I do in my life, I just feel like why I haven't had it. Like, you get what I'm saying? Because I don't really go by these rules like that. Like, I put a mask on because I have to. Like, I put a mask on because I know in order for me to go pay for my gas, they're gonna be tripping when I go in here. Mm-hmm. But I'm not really a mask advocate. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah. So I don't know. I do feel like the numbers was trumped up very high in order for them to push the vaccine or whatnot. But now they got everybody out here getting the vaccine and it's cool. They talking about let's open it up.
They opening that shit wide open. What about you, Dynasty? How you feel about it? Conspiracy?
Man, I just feel like if you don't watch the news, you uninformed. If you do watch the news, you misinformed. Period.
Come on.
You know,
message.
So
nah, you're not lying.
That was AKA Denzel, you know. So that's just like, I just think that's what it is. So I haven't really done my research outside of just trying to stay safe. So I agree. Like, I still think that I'm not gonna be doing no partying this year and all of that stuff. I just think that I just gotta be safe because I deal with kids, so I keep everybody else safe. Right. So I gotta follow the rules, even if I believe in it or not. You know what I mean?
Hey, same
so,
here.
Yeah.
I got kids, so that's why
I
try to be very aware of the stuff that I do, especially.
But you know what I thought was kind of like weird though? Especially like if your kids was like in private schools, they never stopped going to school. Yeah. Like the school that my daughter was going to, they shut down for a brief period, and they did took little COVID precautions, and they came and had a COVID inspection.
Right. Yeah.
And they passed their COVID inspection, and they opened right up. So the kids been in school this whole time. Like, especially if you going to private schools, these kids been in school, but these kids ain't contracted nothing. And so I don't know. It's
different.
really kind of it's really kind of weird for me, but I understand everybody's point of view and where they're coming from. So
It's different.
It was a way to control us. They controlled us.
Nah, they did. They controlled us, the money, and they controlled the jobs. Everything that they said they was gonna do one day, they end up doing it. Moving forward, Lil Reese. So I was in Vegas. Lil Reese got shot. I know most of y'all might not know who he is. He's a Chicago bandit. That's what I call him. He a little rapper. I don't really listen to his music, but dude has been shot on 3 different occasions. And this recent time, he got shot in the back of his head. And a photo went out. Somebody took a picture while he was on the floor. Supposedly, he got shot because he was trying to steal a car. He was trying to steal a Hellcat. But he a rapper. I don't know why he was stealing, but he was in Chicago doing some thug shit. But this is the question that I have for y'all, which is going to be pretty fast and fortunate. Do he deserve a lineup for trying to rob a car?
he said he wasn't trying to steal the car.
He was trying to rob.
He said somebody pulled up on him and he was simply trying to help them get somewhere to where they was trying to go.
Oh, that's his story.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I don't know. Like,
yeah, but the cops got the pressure.
I don't see why Lil Reese would have to steal a Hellcat.
I would hope not. I'm just saying this was the news that was reported to us, which is informed or misinformed. But I'm gonna give him a lineup because I personally feel like bro needs to be like bro. I don't know how much money he got, but
like bro,
you can make some moves at home. You ain't gotta be out in these streets. That's just my whole thing.
Right.
Yeah.
You got shot 2 times already before this, and you almost died. They call him the Green Reaper now. That's his new rapper name, Lil Reese, aka the Green Reaper. But how y'all feel about that?
I just didn't like the fact that because the video that I seen of him on the ground, it looked like he was dying.
Yeah.
And
they put that on.
I hate that. I hate that type of shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, when did
it did fuck up me? It fucked up my vacation. It fucked me up because I was on vacation.
Because it really looked like he was dying. It was like it was hard. It was hard for me to watch. But then he had moments where he looked like he was dying. But then he had moments where he looked like he was regular. Yeah. Where he sat up. You know what I'm saying? And he trying to talk to people. That was weird. I don't like shit like that.
It was sick. But you know what? I'm still gonna line this ass up. Stay your ass at home, Lil Reese. I'm glad you're alive though. We gonna all line your ass up.
Chicago thugging, man.
You already got a bald head, so we can give you a bald head.
Lil Reese?
Yeah, I know he's got a low
He
head.
didn't need to get out of Chicago for real.
Nah, he needs to move
for real.
Sure.
Get up out of there, bro. Like it's just too much keep happening to you. Like it should tell you something, bro. How many more times you gonna get
I
scared?
think everybody that grew up in this type of environment should want to get out though.
Yeah.
They need to really keep his ass home. He needs to be on house arrest or something. I'm just saying. All right. So I want to talk about Jaden Smith. I'm gonna go there next, but I'm gonna go to Kevin Samuels. So Kevin Samuels, y'all know he's been getting a lot of flag because he just be telling women how he feel. He the boss of his conversation. That's just how he rule. I kind of like it. He's like one of them old uncles who gonna say what he gotta say. But in this new day and age, I do feel like me having a daughter, me being raised around women, he is kind of too upfront in a way of saying like he don't know how to smooth shit out. He a very blunt person. But then again, because I'm a man, I'm gonna say because I'm a man. I'm not saying that he's right, but because of him being a man, he say shit that I be wanting to say to some of these females the way he says it. So I'm only gonna say this and ask y'all.
He say everything we want to say.
Yeah, he say everything that he want to say. But I'm gonna say this to ask y'all a question: do you believe that Kevin Samuels is the new GOAT for men? That's just what I want to ask that question.
Facts.
I'm gonna say facts.
Man. It's hard to argue with. I gotta say facts too, man. Like he telling it like it is. He's blunt.
Yeah.
I feel like if we could have the Steve Harveys of the world, the men who actually cater to women,
Right.
I feel like why not? Like we need to stand up for us first. Like, you get what I'm saying? Just
They don't like to hear that though.
Yeah, just women stand up for themselves. You get what I'm saying? And then they got whole little movements and all of that. And so if you got men that come out and they stand up for women and they cater to women, a lot of their content is directed towards women. Why can't we have somebody of our own?
And that's where I'm going with that in this conversation for tonight. But what about you, Dynasty? How you feel?
I don't even know who he is.
So Kevin Samuels is the guy that always
We need
has the
you to
short
watch
clips. And he's like next to a microphone. He's talking to a girl over the phone, and he's telling them what they're doing wrong or how they look. But if you've never seen it, it's cool. You're gonna see it.
Okay, I'm gonna go look it up.
You're gonna see it. Kevin Samuels is something else.
Okay.
But I think you're gonna like him because I know you like the real conversations that men be having.
Okay. Okay.
Now, I need you to watch that tonight.
Yeah. So Jaden Smith, he got a lot of content, but his content is dope.
Okay.
Okay. So Jaden Smith opened a free food truck, right? And I think that that's bomb as fuck. But the question that's being posed and who needs a lineup on this one is, do rappers deserve a lineup and entertainers in general for not thinking about this idea? I think this is the greatest bomb idea ever to open food trucks near Skid Row and other places to give people free food. Why haven't no other person ever did this? How y'all feel about that? Y'all think that these entertainers and out there just reserve? I know Jada Smith is rich though, but I'm only saying it to say like there are people who's richer than him that's not doing this shit.
I don't think they deserve a lineup, bro. It's. I don't want to sound fucked up when I say this.
Hey, say your shit, Kevin Samuels.
Not because I think it's a thin line with the homeless. Me personally,
I feel that.
like you get what I'm saying. I made it up in my mind that at first, damn, I really do not want to say this.
Just say that shit,
I'm gonna
man.
redirect this.
You say you gonna redirect it?
So I made up in my mind that I wasn't at first. I was just gonna only help black homeless people. I wasn't giving no more money or helping out no more homeless people that wasn't black, right?
Right.
But then I thought about it, and then I said, you know what? I'm not giving no more money to no homeless people because we don't know what they doing with it. Like, you get what I'm saying? We don't know what they doing with the money. And some of these homeless people, like, when you, like, I done been down there, like, we done been down there feeding the homeless and, like, really talking to them. Some of these people, they really be homeless by choice. Mm-hmm. You get what I'm saying? It's their mindset. They don't like following rules. They like living on, like off the grid, like not having to be controlled by nothing or do they do. So it's like, I feel like shit. I kind of need my money too. I could put that into other shit that can help people in my own family or my own circle.
Nah,
you know what I'm saying?
I feel you.
So I really stopped putting the energy into that. You know. So I mean, I think it's commendable. I mean, I reposted it as soon as I seen it because I thought it was dope of him to do that. But I don't think that people who haven't done it, I don't think that they need a lineup though.
I feel you. What about y'all?
Yeah, I ain't gonna say that they need a lineup. I think I do it on a case by case basis still. You know, like if I see somebody that, you know, and I'm feeling compelled today to give them some money, I don't know what they about to do with it. You know, they could be doing the wrong thing with it. I'm just doing my due diligence, doing what I'm supposed to do about, you know, giving back and just being that person that at least I tried. You know, doing my part. So that's kind of how I look at it.
I feel that. What about your Dynasty?
I was thinking real deep with the question because I kind of feel two ways, right? A lot of celebrities pay taxes.
Facts.
If they knew where their taxes was going, they had an app to say where $18,000 is going or all of these thousands of dollars and millions of dollars is going. I think their efforts would be probably more open to wanting to help. Right. I don't think rappers not wanting to help is more of like I don't want to help. And I think they have way more access to things, but a lot of people have access to things and don't use the resources right. So to me, it's like a mindset. It's a black people conscious in reality. It's very systemic. And so it's going to take people like Jaden and like the things that we doing that's going to make people want to do more. And it's crazier that the everyday people that's living is willing to do stuff like how you open up your store and doing stuff for the youth than the people who got bread. So I feel like we might be the game changers when it comes to it, because why I keep asking the same question. Then what really got me, I feel like everybody needed to line up when Nip died, because he exposed every dude of what you was actually doing outside of being a rapper. What are you doing as a man? You know what I'm saying? What are you doing with your bread? So I just feel like it can go on so many different angles. You know, like it can go on so many angles. You know what I mean? Like this black consciousness period is already an issue.
I feel you. Me personally, I feel exactly what everyone is saying. I really give homeless people money when I want to give them money. Like, I gotta be in a mood.
You gotta feel it.
Or I gotta have, I gotta have some extra. I feel like when I have extra, I'm gonna bless somebody else with it and don't care about what they're gonna do with their money. So that's how I feel about that. But yeah, I'm giving all these rappers, I'm giving everybody a lineup. I just think that it's just the idea of how the world works. Like, if we keep people down and we're at the top, regardless of us having that mindset that homeless people want to be homeless, like, if you got it, I think you should be able to help people. That's just me though. And I know it's people that's mentally ill, we talk about that all the time. So it's something we can't control, but it's just the idea, like, everybody should have natural sources. That's just how I feel. Like, there should be a bathroom for everybody that should be able to be used. Because the biggest thing with homeless people that people don't like is they feel like they're dirty. That's the biggest thing. That's what I'm just saying. That's what actually people don't want to say that, but that's what actually separates us from homeless people. That we feel that they're dirty. That's it. It's nothing else. Because if we seen a homeless person that looked regular, we would not question their judgment. It would only be like, okay, what are you getting it for? If we want to ask them that, or we would give it to them if we got it. But what we do when we see homeless people, the first thing we think is, nobody want to admit it. I'm gonna admit it. Is this nigga gonna steal my shit? Is she gonna take something? She gonna act? We think all these negative things before we even think about what their action is for. So that's just to say, like, cleanliness is the first thing that I would like to, make sure that they have access to. And food. Like, shit, I want to eat too. I know I gotta pay for food every day, so I know they hungry. I'm just saying, shit, I want to stop and get me a salad or some juice or something every day. So I would love for them to have access to at least some water. Shit, maybe some bagels, or the littlest shit can make their day go about, and maybe they can get a job, because we always say homeless people bums, period. But nah,
I work in a barbershop, so I done had like real relationships with homeless people, like dirty, all that stinking and all that, like, you feel me? But it done been times where I done bought like bags of clothes, you know what I'm saying? Bags and bags of clothes, and gave it to them, stuff like that. So I feel like. And then just having that relationship with them, and talking to them is still. I mean, I'm not here to say whether it's a choice or not for them, but that's a tough one.
All right. Well, I'm gonna push for it, and we're gonna go to the conversation discussed tonight. We got some guests that just walked in. You feel me? Red hat up in here.
Yes, Red Hat.
I'm loving the energy though. So, just because y'all walked in, I'm glad that I wrote this question. Can women identify that they have flaws until they men? And I'm going to start with Dynasty, because Dynasty is on the mic tonight. And I just want to ask this question going into our conversation for tonight, because we talked about women's trauma and does it affect them in relationships with their spouses and on personal relationship with friends. Do personal trauma affects them in those two areas? So the first question I do want to ask to you is, can women identify their flaws and literally tell their men? Because I think some women choose not to say what their flaws are in their relationship and make the men go crazy.
To answer the question, yes.
Okay, so that's true.
That I think women can. You have some real strong women out here that I think can.
I think you got to rephrase the question.
You said rephrase?
Oh my!
Yeah, you said
yes.
Hold on, she said.
I think you got to ask. Hold on. Do they?
No, hold on.
Women,
No,
they
hold
can.
on. That's my follow-up. That's my follow-up.
Okay.
But my first question before I go for the follow-up is, when have you been in a relationship and made that nigga feel crazy and you knew that you were in the wrong? Have you ever been in a relationship like that? Or just a friendship? Like, you knew you were doing something wrong, but you continued to make that person feel like they needed to accept that type of, I guess, energy you was bringing to the table. It could be.
Yeah, at a point in time, I'm pretty sure I was toxic. Yeah. Yeah,
I wasn't going to use that word, but.
Yeah, I definitely contributed to toxicity.
And I'm glad you said that, because the follow-up question X just said is, because I want to ask you, because there's women here, and we don't have to say nothing. We can sit back.
Go.
How about you rephrase that question the way you just asked?
Do they? Nah, I mean, I know that women can. Of course, everybody has the ability. Like, men can go out here and not cheat, but realistically, do they? No.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying when it comes down to that. Do they? Yes, they are able to admit, but do they admit when they bring in some toxic shit into the relationship, and do they admit when they in the wrong?
Not all, no.
Why?
But that goes for every.
I mean, but why? I was just thinking, why is that so hard?
So I just feel like when you think about women and men, I just feel like a lot of people don't like to take accountability.
Right.
I think it's an accountability measure, right? So rather if it's a female or a male, and some people don't like to open up if they know the other person is not opening up, because men don't open up as much as women do.
I believe
So
that.
some women not gonna just say everything if they know that person is not all in. Women go off feelings and emotions and physical interaction. We can't just think about what's in your brain. Like, you know what I mean? So if you're not showing it, you're not demonstrating it through your actions or through your language or just any movement, that woman is not gonna feel safe enough
I feel that.
to share her flaws, because her flaws can include sexual abuse.
Right.
Her flaws can include, she may have some type of disability she had back in dyslexia. Her
Right.
flaws may be deeper than what a man can carry. And if that man can't carry that, I don't think any woman should just hand that over.
Message.
Hmm.
Hey, what you gotta say?
So, when you decide to get in a relationship with a man, you don't think that that's something that should be
Talked about.
Yeah.
But
Because it's
trauma-
like, how do you know?
But we mean flaws come with trauma. Would you just tell your trauma just right off to a person? But if before, I have to do my homework before, because if we talking about my man, that's my man. He should know that she's supposed to know.
And that's what I'm saying. It's not standard that we get in a relationship and automatically come forward with these traumas, right?
It's not standard because that's not what we practice.
Right, but that's what I'm saying.
Right.
Should we though?
We should.
We should, because it's like once you get in a relationship with somebody, you feel like, okay, we getting ready to take it there. We getting ready to do this, that, and the third. You get what I'm saying? How is it that? How can a man know whether he's willing to take this on if he doesn't know what he's taking on? You get what I'm saying?
I feel the same way that men hold things in. It's different. You don't really get to.
But I
You don't
also
really
feel
get to
like that's
know.
where dating and friendship comes before getting into a relationship with a person.
So you say that type of shit on dates?
No, but you're
Just
dating.
just
You're
get to
getting
know
to know a
somebody.
person. You just go hop in and get into a relationship with a person and start putting all your baggage on them right off top.
So that's
This
our
is a whole
audience.
human being
That's
right
our
here.
audience member, Chelsea.
Right,
She
But,
said,
but people give you as much as they want you to have as well. You feel me?
Exactly.
There you
and
go.
It's all about energy exchange. If your energy, if you feel like you can release that to somebody based off the energy,
Right.
then it happens.
yeah, so Chelsea
Right?
said energy basically brings the relationship to understanding the other person's side to feel comfortable and vulnerable to share that information. But I do want to ask a question to Saeed. I'm going to get there real quick. But the question that was posed right now is pretty much, why don't women let us know their flaws or their trauma before they get into a full-blown relationship? And Ace kind of countered that and said, they should
no
be.
flaws.
You said what?
Look, we ain't got
We
no.
didn't
Oh,
say
God.
why. But we
No,
didn't-
what she
we didn't
said-
ask why though.
Oh no, we finna get there.
Okay.
So I just wanted to ask Saeed, how do you feel about the relationships that you have had? Do you feel that you've had to actually adapt to somebody's behavior and then change them in a way of saying you worked with them for them to turn into a, I guess you could say, better person for you? Or you think that you actually just stuck around and dealt with it and just never said nothing?
I think I've been through both of those situations, and I think I've had to adapt to somebody's behavior, and I think it's, it was just because I cared about that person at the time, so it was like I was gonna do whatever I wanted to do, or I had to do to conform
Right.
to the relationship. But then at the same time, I feel like I've stuck around and tried to help somebody to, open up, make that change. And sometimes people don't want to change. You got to be willing to change, and that's for men and women. And sometimes I think women they don't want to tell us exactly what their flaws are because they're afraid that we're gonna judge them. Afraid that we just gonna pack up and leave and run off.
Hell,
The
you
first
don't
sign
the
of,
fuck.
whatever.
Or what I've experienced is just people coming into the situation already feeling like they're whole. When they got all of this shit going on, you get what I'm saying? They got all of these past traumas and the way that they was raised or the way that they was taught. They think that that's the way of life. You get what I'm saying? And they think that they already whole. And so if you feel like you don't never gotta fix nothing or there's nothing for you to learn from somebody, you gonna operate as such. You get what I'm saying? So it's like when you try to tell somebody or you trying to talk to somebody about how you might be feeling or what they doing and how you feel is wrong, if they feel like, nah, this is the right way, you get what I'm saying? It's gonna be hard to try to get somebody like that to
But I also
to
feel
change.
like that's where friendship comes in, right?
I'm
Because
gonna get there.
the only reason why I say that is because I don't feel like you should be a messed up human being trying to be in a relationship with another human being. So when you have
What
those
if they don't know they
friendships,
messed up?
Yes, I mean,
but that's where friendship comes in, and you're
Chelsea,
able to just to sit and
Chell
talk.
said friendship come in before the relationship because it's gonna actually make you open up.
The friend zone
it's
can
gonna
work.
make you feel more
You
comfortable.
can't just be in a
to-
relationship with
to
a
say those
stranger.
things.
That's
Yeah,
not
friends
going
So
zone.
I'm gonna go there. I'm gonna go there because Saeed
Yes.
said, Saeed said something good.
Niggas hate that.
He said something very good. He said that he had to actually change himself at one point. I say is, I feel like men have to do that in every relationship, and I'm only saying that to say like a lot of men that are the chasers. That's my thing, the chasers. I'm not saying the men that y'all like, because if y'all like a man, y'all go girl crazy. We already know how y'all are. But a natural man that comes into a classy type of role, he approaches you the traditional way. He meets you. I think if you're, there's bougie women, there's ghetto women, there's women who just obviously don't like have the brain, so I call them Diddy. So you have those three type of women. You come in and you have to start to juggle the shit and make it work, right? Especially if you're the chaser. So I feel like men do that for the most part in most relationships, and then women start to open up, like y'all spoke about in the friendship portion, about little things. But I think that they're so stuck in their ways that y'all play this game to say, I wonder how long he gonna take the shit that I'm giving him till he finally change. Is he gonna change me, or can I get away with this shit? I feel like we don't have the same upper hand to that. So I think this conversation is great to ask Dynasty now. Why do women go through that stage of understanding that they have trauma, but they don't want to change?
They don't want to change.
They don't want to change until the nigga, they try to see if they can get away with it. How about that? Why do women do that?
Well, I can't speak for all. I'm gonna speak for my
Speak for them all.
I can't speak for them all. They all have been through the same thing I've been through.
Right.
What I can say just about women in general is like, so we can repeat the question one more time.
The question is pretty much, why do women feel like when they come into a relationship, they have the rights to wait out if they want to change or not? How about that?
So basically, this is about a person who wants to change. They
but
want to change or not?
Yeah, but they playing that game. They know they need to change because they dealing with somebody. But they like, I want to see how much I can get away with.
Well, that depends on what the man allows them to do.
Right.
Because I feel like as a grown woman, you about to be playing on my time. So, I don't think no woman or no person should want to be played with. So if a man is allowing a woman to keep doing what she's doing, because like he said, you like them and you care about them, sometimes we love things beyond what we can see. So sometimes we look at a person, we like, okay, this is my boo, I'm going to do everything, and we put our best foot forward, and when you don't see that, you don't see it,
Right.
you be like low-key, like, well, let me hold mine in, but it can go different ways.
Yeah.
Then you got ways to where people are not going to make a change because they don't feel like something is wrong. And I feel like that's in a lot of women, of thinking that they know it all, they don't they don't think before they speak.
Yeah.
To just everywhere, it's everybody else's fault. But if you listen to women, trauma, you'll notice that they'll start blaming their problems on other people. It's my mama's fault when I don't got a job. It's this person's fault when I don't got my place to stay. They telling you it. So what do you think? You definitely gonna be to blame if you enter a relationship with them. So I think that when you have a conversation, I think like this young lady said, it's all about that friendship. You will know in that friendship what you dealing with. The signs will show. So if you choose to move forward, then
That shit don't always show. Go ahead, Shell. What she's gonna say?
sometimes.
We got a question from the audience.
That's not really a question. It's more of a statement. Like,
Ooh.
also as well, some women don't like to say it, but we crave leadership.
Women crave leadership. Is
Yeah,
what she's saying.
like that.
I feel the fuck out of that.
A man who can lead and can control things, right?
I feel the fuck
So
out of
if you have a man that can do that, he is going to put you in your place from time to time. You may not like how it is delivered or it's said at that moment, but if you're a real woman, you may need to sit back, listen to it, and then come back like, okay, man, okay,
Okay,
baby.
so I like her statement.
Say that.
Shell said that there are women out there who crave to
Not
be
there
a leader.
are.
They are?
And
In every situation?
I promise to God.
All women.
All
Listen,
women want
all women
all women
wants to be leaders.
Even the women that wants to lead really
So
would
that's
like
the
the
game,
alpha
y'all.
male at the end
So
of the
that's the
day.
game, y'all.
We
Listen,
don't
that's the
wanna
game,
be- we
niggas.
want-
That's the game. She likes what she says, and I believe women believes this shit. They want to be in a leadership role, and they want us to chase their ass. They want us to play games. They want to play all types of Nintendo and Nintendo 64 in our heads, and then they want to turn around and say, "Be the man."
But
No,
that's what about
it's
saying.
the
What do I
point.
show ask?
So
You
I got a
didn't even
question.
hear her right.
I got a question. So for the women that
The question change.
Yeah.
No, hold on. how y'all got what I said, and you'll see how they logic work? No, I'm just saying, you see how our logic work and their logic work? Because I answered her question. She basically, I answered her statement. I answered her statement. See, I rephrased that. I answered her statement, right? She made a statement saying that women wants to be in leadership roles, but they want a man to take charge.
It wasn't leadership roles.
No, I'm sorry. Women,
She said even if they want to be a leader,
no,
they still want a leader out of a man.
Exactly.
But you can't be the leader and want a leader out of a man.
And that's what I was going to
That's
ask.
where our logic comes in on that sense.
No. I'm not saying that. I'm saying the women who think that they are the leading role, right? Because women still think that.
So women think
there are women who feel like they are the woman, but the man. Like, you get it?
But that's where I'm going with that. How can you want to be in a leadership?
I don't agree with that logic at all.
But I'm only saying that to say but the reason
we
why
come from a man's rib, so how we gonna be the man?
No, I understand that, but the reason why I stated it like that is women are playing games in our heads.
But that's just a percentage.
All that bullshit.
That's just a percentage.
The percentage, but
that's just a percentage.
You see me say, I said all women. You heard that right earlier. I'm just
I
saying
heard it.
earlier, just like my nigga Craig said.
No, I get what both parties are saying.
Right.
But then, for real. But as far as what Gotti is saying is, the reason why he's saying is that they're playing games because it's no actual way that a woman who wants to lead can want a man who leads. You get what I'm saying? It's like that doesn't go together. It's gonna be a constant bumping heads. You get what I'm saying? And so that's what I think what he's saying. Yeah, and she is. Yeah.
Because I feel like women, they want to, like you said, you want a man to lead, but then you want to micromanage him.
Yeah, you can't.
And that's how.
That's just like.
But that's what women do.
And that's what women are not going to the man at the end of the day.
That's what women do. That's kind of what I said to Dynasty earlier when I said you gon' basically play that role that you don't want to fix your trauma. So you like tweaking it to control me and like saying I'm gonna get away with this, but I can't do this. So guess what? I'm gonna do this all the time because I can get away with it. But you're supposed to fix that.
And how long are you gonna deal with that?
But it's
for a minute.
But I'm only
saying
exactly.
But not forever. You're gonna get tired of that.
The road is always gonna lead to the door.
Exactly my point. And then she's gonna be left there with that trauma.
The road is always gonna lead to the door if it goes to that. But I'm only saying it to say like I could have been in another relationship. That's what I'm saying. But nobody wants to hear that. But anyway,
or seems like
I'm just saying. That's why I say women don't bring nothing to the table. That's my thing. But listen, I'm rephrasing it.
Please.
Most women, listen.
Coming with the men with multiple kids.
That's why I said most women don't bring something to the table. See,
we bring stress, right?
We bring stress. All right.
I'm talking
Okay, hold on. So I'm gonna phrase this question to Saeed because I want to know how he feels about it. And then we're gonna go to Dynasty. I'm gonna flip it. Do you think that all men are trash these days? Or do you think that women just make us feel like we're trash?
What?
No, we not all trash. I'm not gonna. No, just like all women ain't trash. But
right.
I think a lot of the trauma and a lot of the things that women have been through in their lives, or in past relationships, that's why they feel that we are trash.
But the perception is real. You think the perception is real? That's what I'm asking, really. You think that most women think that men are trash?
I don't hear that.
I'm
only asking you because then I want to flip it to her to see if they do.
I think in a sense, yes, you will hear it more.
Yeah.
Nowadays, it's more common to hear that men are trash.
Right.
In today's day, but I'm not gonna say that all women think that. No, but I think it's more common. Yes.
Yeah, most women. We're gonna say.
Can I say something?
Most.
Can I say something before you flip the Dynasty?
Say that shit.
We are not the niggas of old. Like, you get what I'm saying? I really don't know how nowadays that saying is still being said about men. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, I don't know what, and it all boils down to the type of dudes that women choose to deal with. Because at the end of the day, the dudes that I'm seeing and the dudes that I know and how they get down and how they take care of business as far as family and how they treat their women, you get what I'm saying? I don't see this stuff. You get what I'm saying? As far as like when I was a kid, it was kind of like almost. It was almost like a given to not like when I was growing up, I didn't like meet nor I didn't know nobody who had their dad in the house. Like the dad was absent from every nigga that I ever knew. Like, you get what I'm saying? Yeah. And it's like now all I see is men being constantly present in their kids' life and being there, being stand-up dudes. And then when they in relationship, I don't see that stuff that these women see. So I don't get how we still, the men are dogs and men are trash, is still going around nowadays. Like, I think that probably was some shit of the past when Papa was really a Rolling Stone, but like now it's like, I don't think that's what we, I don't think that's the type of shit we
on.
on.
This shit before we get to Dynasty, it's a random thought. Most of the niggas that had a dad was bad as fuck. That's what it said.
But that's, I didn't know because I didn't know these niggas.
Yeah, I knew some niggas.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm saying I knew how many daddies on my block, and them niggas that had daddies was bad as fuck. But go ahead, Dynasty. The question is, do you think that? Well, do you believe that most women like that, right? Because you don't like me saying all women. Do you believe that most women think that men are trash?
Depends who you're talking to. So, me growing up in the hood, you hear a lot of men being trash because the environments they exposed to and the traumas they dealing with the type of men they dealing with.
Right.
But when you're dealing with women that's on a different caliber, who have, you know, dealt with their traumas differently and healed differently and took accountability, then more of them are like, no, if you go in certain areas and you meet certain people, it's good guys out there. So it just depends who you're talking to. If you're talking to somebody that's bitter, it's going to come from that place. If you're talking to somebody that's fed up, you're going to hear that. If you're talking to somebody that's divorced recently, you're going to hear that. So it really depends who it's coming from and what time it is.
But that,
I love that. Can I say something for Ace?
You say something for me.
So you said like when you were growing up, the men were different than they are now. But we also have to go back to the times that they were living in versus the times that we're living in now. I feel like they grew up in a tougher era than we did. Like those men back then, they were like so solid and went through so much back then that they were away from their family, but a lot of the times it wasn't by choice. Like a lot of the times they were going through other issues.
That was going through their issues with their families, had tougher times than we do.
Like of course, you know.
So we talking about jail.
I'm speaking about it all, like whatever it was. And I'm not saying that all of them were.
They were smoking crack.
Crack era, drug dealing. They went through a lot of different things that we go through now. I'm not justifying their actions.
You
back
little
then.
Franklin Saint, you.
Right. Now I understand totally what you're saying as far as when it boils down to that, but I think what I was talking about was in reference to, I think I was speaking on the fathers who
had the opportunity
to be there. Like my dad ain't never been in my life. You get what I'm saying? He got other kids and all kind of shit that he take care of, but it's just he ain't never been in mine. So since I was young and he ain't been in jail. You get what I'm saying? My dad wasn't no gang member, none of that shit. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what the fuck went on with him and moms. That's on them, but I feel like it was a lot of that going on. You get what I'm saying? Where dudes was just, you know what I'm saying, wherever he lay his head,
but
I'm over here, I got kids over here. I'm over here, I got kids over here.
See, but that's where I gotta stop that at, because that's kind of like what Chell said, like, what they were going through, we would never know. And then at that, you know, we have conversations about this too. You've never actually had a conversation to get there, you know. And I know that he hasn't reached out, because that's kind of where we always conflict on having an understanding on that, right? We always conflict on that understanding of him not reaching out. But I'm only saying that to say, like, we really don't know why he chose to stay silent or private. I had a conversation with my dad, which I speak about a lot, and the conversation made sense because I know my mom. I can't blame my mom for nothing. But my whole purpose behind that is it made sense. I could be as mad as I wanted to be that he wasn't there, but me being an adult, understanding how adults work now, me having kids and a baby mama and a fiance, shit gets hectic, bro.
Yeah.
You know for sure that I know. You know that I know this. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
But as hectic as it get, bro,
he probably don't have the same type
It can't make me quit on my daughter.
Yeah, but that's the thing.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Can you repeat that? I'm sorry.
As hectic as it might get, it can't make me quit on my daughter. Like I don't
Say
care
that.
where it go or where it's gonna lead to. Like I'm not gonna stop fighting.
Was your dad's dad in his life?
I don't know. I don't know the nigga at all.
That could be a factor as well.
Thank you. See, and that's something I try to talk to him about too, because it's the whole thing about that. I know we're getting deep right now, but we're gonna get there. This is the purpose. I feel like a lot of men back then might not have the same balls we have now. And I'm only saying that to say, like, whatever they was facing, they chose not to face it because they didn't even want to deal with it.
Mm-hmm.
We have the balls to deal with it and choose to face it because we might have the support they never had.
But and to be better than they were.
Yeah.
With each generation, we get better and better.
Yeah.
So maybe back then he wasn't dealing with, but you're not going for that. So that's not going to continue.
We think our grandparents spoil us.
And look, on me, and look, we're not going for that. But some advice to share for you is, there's been many times I wanted to give up because I have twins, the fucking child support that was coming in, and the bullshit that I was dealing with. You know, just to share a little bit. I know the majority of it was both of our fault. I'm not gonna say it was mine or hers, but what I was facing, I thought I just wanted to walk away because it was easier for me to know that, okay, I know she's a good person. I can leave the kids with her. If something push come to shove, I might come back. I said I might. I did think that. But guess what I did? I woke up and said, what the fuck am I talking about? I couldn't do this because I dealt with that, so I'm not going to do that. But I'm only saying that to say each situation is different.
At the end of the day, you had a conscience.
Yep.
And you had some balls about yourself.
You have to though. And I had two, not one.
I think what we sitting here saying now is that the ones that came before us, they went through so much more and they came up through a tougher area. But they didn't have enough balls to stick around.
And they might not have had no support, like Saeed said. They might not have had
an example.
Right.
Yeah.
So I ain't rolling. You know what I'm
You
saying?
ain't
Y'all can give them. I'm giving them a lineup.
All right. Nah. So all men. So okay. So
they
back
do
then.
get a lineup still. They do get a lineup. They get a whole cut. You leave your kids.
So back
then, that's a fact.
So back then, them niggas is trash. These new niggas is in there though.
I'm not calling them trash though.
Yeah.
I just don't. I don't understand how the dudes now still carry the stigma that we trash and we dogs. Like I feel like I know a lot of stand up dudes. And
these new niggas.
Coming up, I didn't know none.
These new niggas can be found in the system too. I'm just saying. Can't even have no job these days. You gonna get your shit taken out. Just saying that. But moving forward, I think this is a good question because I know we moving forward from men are trash.
Y'all not trash kings. We love y'all.
We can't. Thank you. Hey, thank you, Ollie.
She been doing this shit all episodes.
Y'all spit on everybody.
Hey, so this is a real therapy session right now because I got another question for Dynasty, and then I'm gonna ask Saeed because I wanted to know because he's in the field. How can women heal from those type of traumas? And the main three traumas that I've noticed from most women would either be sexual abuse or growing up without a father, which is a big one for us because I think that's kind of why a lot of us go through the things we go through. With some women, they don't have nobody to actually tell them when they're wrong, you know, because I know most women don't listen to their mom when they're wrong, but they listen to a man that's been in their life for the whole time. And then lastly, it's just the idea of putting a man on child support. I think the judge of character is sometimes off for some women. You get me? I think these three things are like the things that we deal with from their trauma. So it would be sexual abuse, which means that's why you ain't getting no pussy like you used to. They got some sexual abuse stuff going on. Not to make a joke about it, but we don't really have sex like we used to because now it's adding up to maybe something that reminds you of something. And then secondly, like I said, you dealing with that whole idea of not having a dad and then just putting a nigga on child support because you mad. Like, I think these are three things that I can't understand as a man. I don't know if y'all can understand, but I wanted to ask a woman. I know you don't have kids or kind of been. I don't know if you've been in those situations, but what's your
I was like, I don't know what to say. I don't know. It's not my nobody.
Nah, you don't have to. I'm only asking because I really think that it's great that you are in that field. Do you believe?
Well, can I answer the first question about like how can they be open to heal?
Yeah.
Okay, I got you on that. So I wrote this down because I was thinking about it in the car. So.
You can talk in the microphone a little bit.
Okay, so I wrote this down because I was thinking about it in the car because I think that's a question and I'm trying to make sure I represent the culture pretty well. So I think when you trying to heal, you have to be ready to receive and ready to heal. Well, open to receive and ready to heal. And what that means is you got to be willing to learn and unlearn again. So I think that comes with our habits, our communication, the things that we've learned from our childhood. So I can speak from a girl who my dad was in jail, remember, 26 years. And so I was the person that had to take that. My mom was 15 when she had me. My mom was a gang member. Daddy was a gang member. So when you think about the wings that was put on my back, who even carried me here? You get what I'm saying?
Right.
So I had to deal with domestic violence. I had to deal with black eyes. I had to deal with fighting girls back to back over men who I thought was mine. I had to deal with, you know, lying, people cheating. I had to deal with that without a dad being present.
Right.
And I still dealt with men like that because I thought it was okay. And you end up, what we end up doing is dating men that are like our fathers, which is even more generational trauma, environmental trauma, historical trauma.
Right.
So sometimes the experiences that we are currently dealing with is passed on and passed on. That's why a lot of men can't even go to their moms and say, hey, I got a girlfriend and these are problems, because your mama gonna automatically be subjective and on your side instead of just keeping it real with you.
Right.
Then you got women like my mom, and I'm just gonna keep it real because I love her. We talk about these things, but my mom come from the streets. She's into fucking with niggas that get money. She into dealing with dudes that got money. So that was my mentality being raised. You know what I mean? Like, I'm a girl, I keep my body up, I keep a pretty face, and as long as I do that, I can get whatever I want. And it worked for me. You get what I'm saying? To the guys that I was working for ended up working on me. Right. And that's when it really got messed up. Right. So when you don't have that sense of protection, I think that you gotta just be like, okay, if I am going to heal, am I going to be open to receive it from either the man who I'm with? Because sometimes, like she said, a man will expose you if they really care about you, to be like, yo, that right there ain't cool. You shouldn't be walking out to the store 7-Eleven with your pajama sweats on. You shouldn't be, you going to Postmates, I don't care where you going to put some clothes on. So you got men that really care about people, but that was how he was raised. So he dealing with a female that come from the streets like me to where, hold up, what you mean? You telling me what to put on, you trying to control me. You know what I'm saying? And like not looking at it as leadership that, a man that really cares about you is going to tell you those things. You know what I mean? So I just think that a woman has to be like, you know what, I'm trying to heal, period. Because that will take her through a self-discovery process on her own to learn how to forgive people who hurt her and be able to be open to the new people in her life that she's headed towards. And then that will change her dynamic on who she's approaching and who she allows to approach her.
First of all, I want to say,
crazy.
Thank you for sharing.
That was
Thank
amazing.
you for sharing.
That was perfect.
Hey, thank you for sharing.
She just made that K.
No, she did, because I wanted to piggyback on something minor, and I think that this is important. Everything that she spoke about is reality, but the accountability on top of what she speaks about is crazy. For her to know that she's saying that somebody's controlling, unlearning that and saying you really care about me, is something to let people understand. Like, when you're taking accountability, it can really change your life that fast, to where you can unlearn something and learn something else new to replace it.
It's a process.
Yeah, and when you're in a relationship, you can't tell your homegirls everything no more.
Man.
You can't go get advice from a single person, your mama. So you really got to learn that your partner become your teammate, because it's really like, who you going to go to now if y'all got into it. You can't always pick up the phone and say, Tracy, wooty, wooty, woo, because you going to pull him up to the next barbecue and your whole family going to be looking like, bitch, you said, you know, that he was, so you end up, this is where all of us have to grow up. Like, that's when a man become a man and a woman become a woman. It's like, oh, I got to deal with him. And that's why you see some women that be like, that's my husband, and they hold it down, because when you really hold it down, you don't care what your mama say, your cousin say, your sister say, you can't care what they say. Right. But then how do you learn that? Because you got women that grew up with their mamas that listen to everything they mama say, like I did. But then I started dealing with real men, you know what I mean? Real men that loved real women who came from different type of environments. And I seen that, I didn't really know how I was supposed to be treated. So I was out here dealing with knuckleheads and thinking that, if he don't really show me that he love me like that, he playing hard to get and shit. And, you know, I think that's hard. And I'm walking with the richest crip in the world. I used to think that was it. And I'm pretty sure a lot of girls did. Cool. You know what I mean? You got Sharon over, you got a little car, take you something to eat.
You got some baby.
You already know.
When she said walking with the richest crib, I don't know why I saw the bridge just now for some reason.
Yeah,
like the bridge. But flip the question, and I think this is a good question.
That's crazy.
I think it's a good question for Saeed to answer, because I mean, I know from just him speaking, he's gonna have some great things to say. How do you think that we can help women heal?
That's a good one.
I think first we need to start by listening. That's the first thing we gotta do, right?
Go ahead, tell him.
Me, because I ain't trying to hear all that shit, but I'm gonna listen.
as men, like we were just talking before we started, we've been accustomed to like speaking before we actually listen and process, you know, what they're telling us, you know. And I think I think it's just like, you know, us listening, us being compassionate, us being understanding, us being patient. You know, all of these are qualities that we have to have as black men, you know, because a lot of our women have been through so much more trauma than what we can even imagine, right? You know, just dealing with, like you say, with sexual abuse, your
father's not being there.
Father's not being there. As a man, my dad was in prison for 15 years, so I can understand, you know, from a male's aspect, but it's more from a female's aspect. Not having your dad in your life for 26 years, that's traumatic within itself.
Right.
You know, not like you say, you tend to start going towards the people that look like your dad, or you know, that might have been doing the things that your dad have done, and it becomes commonplace. And so we got to start, like you say, unlearning and relearning and breaking these cycles.
That's like,
I love that.
that's like something that I was gonna say, because I was gonna say, like, we need to do everything he said. That's what I was gonna say.
You He lied.
This where I'm gonna come in at though.
Burnt up.
This where I'm gonna come in.
You gonna come in,
I
say
think-
your shit.
I think the problem with that, bro, is when we get into these relationships, like I said, on many occasions we're taught that everything in this world is catered, and it's catered to the woman, right? So we get in these relationships and we have to be patient and we have to be all of these things, right, to help them heal.
Yeah.
Like
But
the
you
Bible
just said
says.
you just said your dad was in jail for 15 years. I just said I didn't grow up with mine. They helping us do the same?
We know.
No, I'm saying, are they? I'm saying
They should.
No, because only we can speak on this. Only me, him, and him can speak on this. You get what I'm saying? The women.
Well, I'm gonna keep it 100 when you ask it like that.
Mm-hmm.
I think the accountability that we take is always gonna be stronger than a woman, because the whole idea is we are going to be the protectors and providers. So we have to fix our brains to understanding that we are natural born leaders. You get me?
But I think the problem is we're exhibiting patience and we're trying to help somebody heal, and we're not healed ourselves.
But I want to.
You get what I'm saying?
Say something. Literally, Gotti said maybe 20 minutes ago, what do women bring to the table?
Yeah.
We bring love.
So
okay?
women bring love.
That's not enough.
Love cares.
That's not enough. That's not enough.
But love
And my
cares a lot.
and my boy just said it ain't just about them all the time. And this is
Y'all made it about
no, and this is what I'm saying, this is what we come across in these relationships. You get what I'm saying? You get with a woman and you're trying to help them heal. You
And
get what I'm saying?
we're doing the same. This is a relationship.
Right, I feel like that's what should be happening, but realistically it's not.
How somebody?
That's
But
a
I think she said
Listen,
it will.
Linda.
Yeah.
Listen, Linda.
Listen, man.
Listen,
Red
Okay.
hash talking.
Red
Red
hot
hat.
talking, red hot coming through.
Come on.
So my thing is, it's crazy. Like I was just telling her, I'm dealing with a lot of stuff that we're talking about today, right?
He's dealing with a lot
So
of stuff
it
that we're
hit
talking
different.
about right now.
But I'm gonna speak on the fact that I feel like we all need to be there for each other.
Yeah.
First,
You
communication is
Yeah.
key. You feel me? We all try to stand and be strong.
Yeah.
It's not cool. I feel like we need to be there for our men. We need to find out what the hurt is so that we can heal that hurt, and vice versa. If we gonna work together, like you said, as a team, we gotta shut everybody else out, and it's just us. Because when we walk in the door, don't nobody else come in that door with us. It's us.
So Red Hat just said
Facts.
But with communication comes comprehension.
Yeah, so Red Hat just
They
said
spit
that.
the day.
Yeah, Red
Go
Hat said
ahead,
that.
come over here to the right.
We got like an all-star panel right
Come
now.
on,
This shit is
Nah, we
like
do.
the all-stariest
Now
panel.
we do, but I mean, she said something
Oh,
very
what?
interesting. She said that we need to really both bring something to the table that helps us heal, and I think that that's big, because if we going through the same door and it closes behind us, it's just me and that person. So we need to not be worried about if
I'm
we're
on the
thing,
phone
but
with
working on
nobody
each
else,
other.
talking to nobody else.
Yeah,
What's
we don't
going
need to-
on?
yeah,
Because
we
they
need to
can't
really
help
be
that.
focused
Sometimes
on-
you might have somebody that's, you feel me, hating on your whole story.
Because they want what you got.
To the devil. That's not it.
Yeah, well, as they say, you want to talk to God because God don't really have a running mouth. But when you're talking to other people that's listening, they might end up running their mouth.
Right.
I personally do feel like everything that y'all saying is crazy because I feel like the whole process to trauma is accountability. That's just me because I think that some people, when we talk about how can women heal, right? I was playing, so you said some deep shit, but I think how can we help our women heal, especially as black men, is really understanding that if they're going through something, we have to be vulnerable to what they're going through. You get what I mean? Like most men don't know that we need to really show the same type of emotion that we would show somebody else that we were trying to help. Because it's like what women don't understand. It's hard for us to kind of treat ours. I guess you could say our girlfriend, our baby, whatever, our baby mama, whatever y'all want to call it. I'm saying this before marriage because I think the reason why women don't understand it is like it's kind of hard to be vulnerable to somebody who can't see something that's right in front of us. Like you're not doing this because you don't want to. That's the real answer. But women are gonna say I'm not doing this because you don't do this or I need this. Why can't you just say you're not doing this because you don't want to and start from there? That's where the accountability comes in. That from us.
Yeah,
that
just
women,
real.
But women don't want to say it. They want to say no. It's more to it. It's this and that.
Absolutely.
But it's like why we not having sex every night, right? And she gonna say, I'm
What
tired.
you gonna say?
I'm tired. That's the answer. I'm tired. But then tired ends up to being, oh, we don't do enough foreplay. Or tired ends up being, oh, you didn't wash the clothes and I had to wash the clothes, so now I'm mad. Or it has to be, nigga, you didn't take care of the kids all day and you come home and just lay on the couch and now you think you're gonna get some booty? Like I just think that's kind of crazy how it leads to that when you can just say some simple shit and we could be like, tomorrow ain't gonna be like that. And I think that's where the miscommunication comes between men and women.
Why is it always stipulations put on that? Like when it comes down.
Sometimes it's not that though.
Like I feel like we don't get them stipulations. Like I feel like we don't get them stipulations.
He literally just said, "I came home and I got on the couch."
Yeah, that's a stipulation.
Okay, so a woman gets up, feeds the kids, take the kids to school, pick the kids up, doing homework, cooking dinner, doing laundry,
Right. Super
showering. Like we're doing so much, and y'all going to work and getting on the couch.
And I'm gonna ask you, and I'm gonna answer.
And I'm gonna be horny as a motherfucker after that.
And I'm gonna answer what Ace is gonna
That's
say.
a turn on the
And I'm gonna
couch.
answer what Ace is gonna say. Because Chelsea just said, women gotta take the kids to school. Women gotta cook. Women gotta come home and clean up. Women gotta go and cook and do all this. But guess what? I'm gonna tell you what Ace gonna say. That's what women are supposed to do.
No.
What?
No.
And pay half the bills, huh?
Nah, he ain't speaking to me right now.
And pay half the bills, huh? We working to pay bills, feed the kids, feed our man, do the laundry,
Yeah.
make sure the sheets is clean on the bed, make sure our bodies is nice and right.
But
So they gotta
men
hit the
feed
gym as
y'all
well.
too. Men feed y'all too.
And what else though?
But men feed women
What
too?
else? What else?
I
What else?
can tell you what men do.
You got men who clean up. You got men who wash clothes. You got men who.
But let's speak for the majority.
But
But let's speak for the majority
I can
and the
speak for the
roles
majority.
played. Let's speak. Most
I can speak
men
for
want
the
a woman
majority.
who's gonna clean, who's gonna cook, who's gonna make them feel like a king. That's a fact.
But I feel like it should be going
right?
both ways. If I'm making
But if you going to work and getting on the couch, that's making your woman feel like a queen.
Nah, but I'm gonna speak for the majority because this is where we
I'm
gonna.
only speaking for what you just said.
Yeah, but I'm only gonna say this to say.
And that's usually what happens.
Nah, but I'm gonna say this to say, y'all say that most men, I'm gonna say that's a lie. Just like y'all gonna say it's a lie that when we say most women, right? I'm gonna state this and listen to exactly what I'm saying. Gender roles are never identified by women fully, and I don't think y'all understand that. Women don't ever say that they need help in a way of making you know that it's an actual task. Which means that if you
If you
tell,
know your person,
let me
why would I ask?
let me explain. We are programmed, especially as men, when we are in single parent households or a married household. Women are supposed to take on certain duties.
Yeah.
And we are told to take on duties from our moms. We are told to take on duties
What
from our
duties are
aunties
those?
or our grandmas.
What duties are those? Just
Duties,
a question.
but I'm only saying this. There are men, like Ace said, which are majority of men that I know.
Let's speak on the duties that you're speaking of.
I'm
What
speaking of
duties
duties.
are you
I'm
supposed to?
speaking about the duties right now.
Which
The
one?
majority of the men do these duties. They wash their own clothes. They just listen to me now.
With a woman in the house?
With a woman in the house,
Okay.
I wash me and my girl and my kid clothes.
Yeah, it's not like a.
I pay majority of the bills. I'm not gonna say I pay all the bills. I pay the majority of the bills. I make sure that house is actually clean if it's dirty when the kids leave. And this is not because I'm at home. It's just that I want my house clean. When I'm actually in the bathroom and I know for a fact that this shit is stink, I'm not gonna wait for a woman to clean it. I'm gonna clean the toilet. I'm saying that to say that I have an instinct that most of my homies have. I sit around there. We don't like nasty bitches. So if we don't like nasty bitches, why would we want to be nasty niggas? I'm only saying that. Why would we want to be nasty niggas if we don't like nasty bitches? What's going to happen is if I'm in the house, though, and that continues to happen, of course I'm going to start making it pass and say, you don't see it that's dirty? Because I personally feel like that's a learning lesson for you, just like you would give me a learning lesson. So like A said, it has to be equal opportunity, but I feel like majority of men do have that mindset. Because how many of y'all have heard that men don't like dirty toilets? We don't like dirty toilets. I'm not saying there's no nasty niggas, but you'd be surprised how many more clean niggas it is than nasty niggas. Trust me on that.
I don't really know.
I think the main thing that I'm struggling with is like men in a relationship, sex is always given with stipulation.
All the time.
Like sex is given when you paying bills, or sex is given when you get what I'm saying. I don't understand how that comes about. I thought that was supposed to be like, I thought that was supposed to be a combination of y'all union. You get what I'm saying? And when it's not happening, it's like, oh well, you didn't do the dishes today.
No, I'm just saying.
But
I'm only saying.
It's like that's like some petty shit.
No
to
pussy
me.
for you.
It's always like cause you really have women who go into relationships with people, or they do that type of stuff based off of what they think a nigga can do for them. So it's like,
Yeah, that's what I'm going with that.
So
We
why y'all
sometimes-
in a relationship? I mean,
No,
you
I-
choose the relationship you want.
No, that's true. You do choose a relationship you want, but I'm
Like, you choose this.
No, I hear you.
You
Yeah, I
chose
hear
the
you.
woman that's
This
going
nigga
to get
dumb.
a relationship.
Nah, but here I go back to gender roles, right? I go back to gender roles. This is what I meant by having that conversation while you're dating. These are top 3 things that I believe that my homies do and I do. I don't know. Like I said, we're not going to speak on majority because I know y'all saying y'all putting all niggas in the boat like we putting all women in the boat. I'm gonna say me and my homies. These are top 3 things I think that all men should do. You should be bringing 75% of your income into the household, meaning that you're paying for 75% of that household. It's up to you if you want to go half with your woman. The reason why 75% is up there is because you should be paying for insurance when it comes to life and car. You should be paying majority of those bills when it comes down to utilities. You should be paying majority of those bills when it comes down to anything outside of your personal needs for that to be working.
look, you see how she lighting up over there?
No, but I'm saying you should be doing that.
She agree with all of that
No,
shit.
I believe that you should bring that to the table when it comes down to that. Then when it comes down to being a protector, you should make sure that your house is locked up at night. You should make sure that, just little stuff around the house. The trash should be out. You should make sure that the windows is closed. Just stuff like that men should have in their household. Then the last thing that most women don't want to hear, but it's the truth, you should make sure that your woman is feeling safe and secure on her own. When I say safe and secure, she should make sure that you're not cheating, and she should know that. She should make sure that she feels as beautiful as she's supposed to be. And I think those top 3 things is the reason why men should come home to you being able to at least clean the household and cook. But if that's not on the plate for you as a man, then that means that you are losing, bro. You're not doing your part. So she deserves every opportunity she has to make you feel less of a man. That's it, though. That's
I don't agree with that.
I agree with all
You
that.
shouldn't be in a relationship. She make you feel less of a man. But I'm just saying,
Right, that's what I said.
if you're feeling less of a man, she has every right to make you feel like that.
Exactly. And you agree. You choose the woman.
I think in a perfect world, the shit that you talking about, it's gonna go exactly how you said it. But it don't, bro.
It don't.
No, it don't. It don't. In a perfect world, it's gonna go exactly what
Because
you
you can
said.
still do
but
those
it-
top 3 things,
but
but
it
you
just-
still gotta deal with some
Exactly.
bullshit.
No. You can do all of what you saying.
Yeah,
On God in
you
heaven.
still gotta deal with some
On
bullshit.
God in
I ain't gonna lie.
heaven, you still. And that's what I said. And that's what I said. It's the
ain't gonna
accountability
lie.
part, bro.
They ain't gonna
It's the
listen to me, though.
accountability part. It don't got nothing to do. It don't got nothing to do.
I'm not
with you
getting in
doing
trouble
nothing.
tonight.
You can pay all the fucking bills in the house and do everything that you just said, and it's still gonna go. Everything is still on the terms of them, and when they feel like
God,
shit,
still don't
y'all
know want
The
to eat.
terms
Still
of
don't
what? Our
know.
body?
No, look.
whatever
no,
it is, the
look,
body,
look.
the
That's mostly what
mind,
you're
the
talking
soul,
about. That's mostly what you're
No,
talking
mind,
about.
body, soul.
That's all you said.
Not just the body, Chills. It's not just the body. This is what we go through. First of all, you never know what you want to eat. It's just the same thing. What are we going to eat tonight? What are we going to eat tonight? To the point it hit dinner time, and guess what we do? Oh, we're going to order out. That's what happens. Or, you know what? I'm going to make something, then you end up saying,
I didn't want
I
that.
didn't want that. And then we got to say, okay, but I just wanted to eat. That's all we want to see.
But that's where
No, but I think the
proper
one thing.
structure comes in at.
No, but I'm just saying the second
No,
thing.
that's where proper structure and a proper diet comes in at. Because
So
it
perfect.
eliminates all the bullshit.
Yeah, but most women
Me
don't.
knowing what
most
my
women-
man likes to eat helps me figure out what I'm gonna cook for him.
You'd be surprised that most
It's
women.
not about being surprised. I'm telling you
No,
the solution.
No, I understand the solution.
No, but
the
you will be
accountability-
surprised
but the
about how
account-
many women
yeah,
know
but
that
the
and still be
exactly.
on some confused shit.
Exactly.
Because they don't want to cook. Let's just say
Yeah,
that.
but look, the
Okay.
accountability that you just took,
She's
the accountability you just took, women are not taking, right? So then we're gonna go to the second thing, and I think that this is very important because women don't want to admit it at all, but it's the truth. Coming home with the energy and we gotta fix the temperature in the house. Like, why do you just have an attitude?
Man.
Like, why do
No,
you
no,
just have?
Man.
Let me
not this
say
woman, obviously.
something.
Obviously
I
not
learned
this
this from an
woman.
old head. Wait, I
Right.
learned this from an old head, right?
Tell us what the old head said.
The old head said, when you in a relationship, all through the day, you should be having foreplay with your woman. So that when you get home at nighttime,
that for her.
that temperature is right already. So it ain't no tuning. All through the day, it's foreplay. Separated foreplay, right? So we just own the energy, we own a wave, right? So when we
So
get
she said how
home,
to
it's
fix that.
already
Women are
there.
supposed to- Women
Can I
are
say
supposed to
something?
do foreplay throughout the whole.
Say some bullshit.
Come
Go
home.
ahead, Ace. Say some bullshit. Go
They
ahead.
have a great energy.
And this is when you're in a relationship with someone who you want to be in a relationship
Who you
with.
like for
Because you
real.
don't want to be with the
you
man
like for
or the
real.
woman that you with. It ain't gonna be no foreplay.
So what
Uh-huh.
Have
about
an attitude.
I feel like it's people in a relationship with people they don't want to be with.
Cause
They
they
can't
can't
leave.
leave.
No,
They don't want to leave.
We need some order real quick. We need some order real quick. So the first thing that I wanted to mention was she's speaking on people that should be in relationships that are healthy. I'm
No, who
trying-
they want to be in a relationship
No, who they want to be in. So that's a
Yeah.
healthy
Yeah.
relationship. So I'm
Yeah.
only saying that to say we're not really in that conversation because most people that are happy, they're happy.
Mhm.
We're talking about women and men that are in relationship with the communication.
bitter people.
It's not even just bitter. The communication is off.
They just
So the
hate
communication
you.
is like you just spoke about. I'm coming home now, right? But guess what? I just have an attitude. Just an attitude. And I'm saying I did everything that me and H just said we did. We doing all those things. But guess what we got to do? How was your day? My day was cool. But we have to have a deeper question than that.
They
That
never
most-
asked yours.
They never asked us, right? Like this
Even after you asked theirs. No, look. How are we?
I'm just listening. I'm over here just soaking it in.
It's game. But
In a perfect world,
In a perfect
It would go
'Cause
exactly-
I'm
it would
not
go
dealing
exactly-
with too much bullshit for
Hey,
too
part
long.
two.
Life too
Hey,
short.
hold on. We
I'm not
got
about to be unhappy in a relationship days and days and days.
J-Lo.
Crazy as a mother.
Hey, but hold on. We got to do
You
a
know
part
what
two
time
with
it
Chelsea.
is.
We got to do a part two with Chelsea. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm
Oh
going
my
to
God.
go with takeaways, but I'm going to ask this question before we go to takeaways. Yes, takeaways. It's about to be
The third
takeaways.
question? You have a third question?
This is going to be one of my last questions. Then we can go to takeaways, okay? And I'm actually going to start with Saeed, and I'm going to come back over to you, Dynasty, okay?
Okay.
This is what I really do want to close out with, which was a question. Why don't women apologize when they're even partly wrong? Why don't they apologize even when they're partly wrong? Do you have an answer for that?
I don't.
'Cause he's a
I
woman.
want to know too. Like,
He's a
why
woman. He a
is
woman.
that?
He can answer that. Okay.
Why is that?
like who don't want the answer?
Even,
Me?
I know,
She
but
gonna
guess
give
what?
it to him,
I know
right?
you so well. I'm just saying I know you so well now.
Yeah.
Because I know exactly how you are. I know
Mhm.
that you apologize. But
Yeah.
I know you don't want to speak for them. But I gotta ask you,
Yeah.
why do you think that some women, look, I didn't say all, I'm gonna say that all the time.
I love that.
Why
I
do you
love
think
that.
some women don't even apologize even when they're partly wrong? They just like be like, oh, like if like if they fuck, like oh, they hit us with the, yeah, that might have happened, but they never say, I'm sorry. Why do you think women do that?
I think I think like it's,
When I know you did it?
yeah, I've done it. What the hell? Right? So that'll be like a lie. Like I'm about to lie. So when I think about apologizing, I remember I apologized recently to my partner, and what got me was I had to practice y'all in the mirror of how I was about to apologize because I really didn't want to hurt her.
Hard for
I
the brother.
She was on insulation.
I didn't want to. It was my pride. I said, so like, when he turned around, I said, I got something to tell you. He didn't know if it was good news or bad, but my face was scrunching up because I was about to let something go that was so vulnerable, and I didn't want to be wrong.
Right,
Even
and it's
though I
like the
knew-
anguish,
Yeah.
like the fact that I even have to do this right now is
Right.
really fucking me up.
Right. Especially when you don't want to be wrong, but you know
When
you're
you know
wrong.
you wrong.
You know you're wrong. I feel like everyone
Y'all ain't shit.
turn around and be like, all right, you're like,
Fuck, he got
it's
me.
like your inner big homegirl kicking in your head. You're like, but you know you gotta go back and apologize.
Right.
But this is
So-
the thing though. If
so-
I'm wrong, I have not an ounce of problem admitting that I'm wrong.
No, but we're talking about people people before they actually know what they actually doing.
Exactly.
We didn't talk about the people we are
They
now.
need to process it sometimes.
And maybe you already had
So
that
you
in you, but I didn't have that in me. I lied till I was, what they say, proven innocent. What they say,
It's innocent till proven guilty.
I'm innocent. You don't come with no evidence. I don't got nothing to say. You know.
Hey, you
But
just
that's,
said.
but that's just real though.
You just said facts. Because that's how I feel that all women believe. They say I'm innocent until proven guilty, and that shit is gonna stay the way it is. But look, this is where I wanted to wrap up with on that question. I personally just feel like when it comes down to women and them admitting that they're wrong, they make us feel crazy because look, we always we feel crazy.
That's called a narcissist.
No, look, we feel crazy. We feel crazy, and I'm gonna tell you why we feel crazy. Every time that you ask a woman something, and you know for a fact that the answer should be what you know it is, not think it is, know it is, and they give you a whole nother structured answer around it, that shit make you feel like you're crazy, right?
And they don't understand.
It's like pulling teeth.
They don't understand. They don't understand how that would drive a nigga crazy.
Perfect example. Let me tell you what recently happened, right? So I'm watching TV, and my girl, she don't watch the shows that I
Wifey
watch.
on the live.
She ain't on the live, but if she was, she know this is true. I'm sitting down, I'm watching TV, and she don't even watch the shows that I watch, right? She gonna come in and say, "Oh, you watching that without me?"
Maybe she wants to tap into your world.
No, so I'm like, first of all, we used to watch this together, but I know that you show no interest in it, so that's why I haven't asked you to watch it. Then she makes me feel crazy by saying, so that means you could watch it without me? And now I'm stuck.
Right now,
I'm stuck. I'm like, okay, I'm not supposed to watch it without you, but it's not your show. The perfect show is Snowfall. We started together.
Yeah.
She missed a couple episodes, so she kind of laid off of me, right? But now I'm watching it, and I'm turned up in the living room, and she like, dang, you couldn't
On a
get away
Wednesday
from
night,
me.
turned up.
So guess what? I'm looking at her like, first of all, if I wait for you, I'm gonna be on season 1.
Right.
So this is not finna happen. But I can't say that. I gotta say something like, you don't even watch this show. And then it gets to be in that whole back and forth. But women play that role really good. They play it
She
really
just
good.
wants some quality.
Quality
Yeah.
time. I'm saying it's just the quality.
Yeah,
But guess what? We had some quality time after that. We was watching Atlanta Housewives or something. I don't watch that, but I watched it with her. But the crazy part, the flip on this to make everybody go, oh, she don't even like none of my shows.
Wait, hold
She
on.
don't like none of my shows. She don't like none of my shows, bro. No, she does not like any of my shows.
You watch Godfather Father?
Nah, I don't watch that. But she don't like none of my shows. I
Make
think
everybody go, whoa.
No, I think that's whoa. Like she go to sleep on all my shows, so I should be able to watch what I want to watch, right?
Facts.
But I can't. That's all I'm saying.
You want to watch it? Stay up.
Tonight just like, bam, I'm about to watch Snowfall.
We gonna have a part 2 with Chelsea.
Whisper it like
We gonna have a part 2 with Chelsea though.
righteous.
But takeaways. If y'all could have anybody take away something from this conversation, what would you have to take away?
Pride is the devil.
Ooh, you heard that,
It's the
Jake?
devil.
Man, shout out Cole. Accountability.
Accountability.
Like Dynasty says, I think it's just taking accountability, and then just trying to reflect on the trauma that we've experienced and getting past it. I think that's what I would have people take out of it.
Message. What about you, Dynasty?
I'm gonna stick with the same message. Just be open to receive and ready to heal. And I think people just should pay very close attention to their value systems. They sit down as a man and woman and write down what's important to them, what values of them in a relationship. Because I just hate when people have conversations. People like, well, I expect him to be this way, I expect her. But it's like, what do you like? What do you actually want from me in this relationship?
And who
Like,
are you?
And what is important? You know, what is important to you? Because what's important to God in your relationship may not be important to me, but I just think that you got to go back to your value system. Like, what is important to you, to a person? What do you need from a person so that you can attract people that you putting out in the universe?
Amen.
I like that.
So, value system and just being open to receive and ready to heal.
Amen.
I love that.
It's my turn.
Yeah, it's your turn.
You still in the
Uh-oh.
think about it.
Sips liquor.
This nigga talking about the mic. I'm still on that shit.
Right. I think my takeaway is two people in a relationship just understanding that 9 times out of 10 when you come to the relationship, you are not whole and neither is your mate. Like, you know what I'm saying? I think it's not a lot of time being put into being whole before you get into a relationship with somebody else. Right. So I feel like if a man have to sit back and be patient and be understanding and know your body and what's going on at different times of the month and all of that stuff, it's certain shit that go on with men too. You get what I'm saying? And we don't necessarily speak on it because it's not popular to speak on our traumas or the shit that we going through too. So I feel like she said, like Red has said, a part of being a team is acknowledging that both of y'all are in it together. You get what I'm saying? And working on that. So
that's a message. I'm just gonna say women ain't shit, and everything that they were saying, they need to understand. They need to take accountability. Now, I'm fucking with y'all. Communication is key, and like we talked about, accountability. Accountability. If you're not taking accountability, then you ain't shit. That's what I'm gonna say. If you ain't taking accountability, you ain't shit, because that's the first step to healing. If you can acknowledge what you've been through, acknowledge that it's your fault, or even if it's not your fault, you can still say it's your fault. That at least is a start for you to start healing. And I think that's a process that most people aren't ready for. And I think that, you know, people out there need to understand that if you're not taking accountability, you're going to fail in a relationship. But thank y'all for tuning into the Black Barbershop. Y'all have a great Taco Tuesday!